What's going on, gamers? Hopefully everyone has been having a great morning. Now, you guys know how much I've been criticizing Xbox lately, and also Halo campaign devolved, which is what I want to call it. And every time AGN says something, there's always evidence to come out later to prove that what he said was actually true. Now we have the Halo co-creator, so basically the Halo creator, one of them, Marcus Leto, actually coming out slamming Microsoft and criticizing them, or slamming the Xbox and Halo Studios. Well, Microsoft still is the publisher, so it's like you decide if it's going to get released without multiplayer. They literally come out and tell them leaving out PvP multiplayer was a huge mistake. Oh yeah, we ready to get into this? Then there's another thread to actually look upon that is actually also calling them out, that is separate from this, but just about how they're just messing up the franchise. Of course, I mean, they've ruined Xbox hardware. It's not surprising. So are we ready to get into this? Become a member, leave a tip down below, like, comment, and subscribe. Here we go. So right here it says Halo co-creator Marcus Leto says leaving PvP multiplayer out of Halo campaign evolved was a mistake. Everybody knows this. I'm telling you right now, if they would have had that on there, this game would already sold 2 million copies more than what it is right now, or at least a million and a half. But either way, it would be a lie. Crazy, right? We've talked about this multiple times. So what does any person that has been defending what Microsoft has been doing has to say when the Halo co-creator himself says leaving out PvP multiplayer was a mistake? On top of everybody realizing that that was also the case. Why did he come out and say that? Because he realized, why would you not do that? And he says Leto, who was the original art director for Halo Combat Evolved, said split screen multiplayer should have been included. They didn't even have that, and mocked the decision on, called them out, lack of oversight and poor planning. You want to talk about also a lack of oversight and poor planning? Oh yeah. But also this, they outsourced the game, and then they were working on a Halo multiplayer game, and then they canceled that, and then canceled another project before that, and then got onto this game, and then scrapped everything that outsourced team was doing and rushed it out, and then hit you in early access. You want to know when you do early access is when everything is kind of done. That's why I said the early access was a scam. You can look at so many wrong things about the way Halo has been treated lately in general, and everything that Microsoft has been doing to damage and dilute the Xbox brand identity and their chief mascot, right? So when you start to find out these things, and when people like me expose it way ahead of time, and then you see the co-creator come out and basically clarify everything I just say, it gives you the idea that AGN knows what he's talking about. He always does. He's pretty on point 24/7. And that I ain't just making Xbox videos to make them. No, they need to be made so people could really see behind the curtain and really see how this company is treating Xbox hardware now. Because I tried to tell people a long time ago, Xbox is actually dead. What's left over is Microsoft Corporation overtaking the Xbox hardware and industry and treating it how it wants. That's why you don't see anybody originally there anymore. You'll never see that happen to Nintendo. And it partially happened to Sony to an extent, but it still was people that are in there to a certain degree that still know and understand PlayStation. Some of them, not all of them. Like when you think about Hideaki Nishino and Hiroki Totoki, those are businessmen. It's all about money and profit, but they know how to run a business. They're not gonna mess up, because when PlayStation was in that live service canceled situation, those guys turned it around. The only decision that people are not agreeing with is physical ownership ending. I believe whether they were there or not, that still would have happened, because that's something that's kind of happening to the whole industry. And Rockstar was one of the biggest influences to get that started, outside of like the diskless, Microsoft world, which they've been pushing that for a while. But it's something the whole industry is doing, and all developers. Now, yeah, going down again though, it says split screen multiplayer and campaign evolve should have been included. There's little There is little excuse aside from lack of oversight and poor planning that led to this misstep. So sad this wasn't included. Because to me, if you're remaking something, why are you taking away something that is the integral part of its soul that made it actually be what it was historically? If I say I'm giving you a remake and I cut off the soul of something, what am I doing? That's not a remake. You have to include what was in there originally. But they didn't even do that. Tells you a lot. It was rushed and they gave you a half-baked game and early access that had 2 days of Xbox Live being down. I can't believe people were just accepting that. He later clarified that he was specifically talking about the remake, not having PvP. So sad this wasn't included, added that it would be awesome if PvP was eventually added. And that's the same thing I was saying. You still could actually update the game and say, here comes a DLC or expansion, and boom, 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 multiplayer included coming to, Halo Campaign Evolved on PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam. And you still have an opportunity to do that, and that would actually increase your sales a lot. And a lot of people would actually be happy about that. That's the funny part, is that they can still do it. But the sad part will be, and the most ridiculous part, is if they never do it. You say, okay, campaign evolved, and that's why I said plus multiplayer expansion. I gave you the idea already a while ago when I first saw that it wasn't including multiplayer. You see what I'm saying? Going down, Zach says, split screen used to bring us together. It used to be a thing. Remember LAN parties and all that? Ironic how everything going online only made us more disconnected. Who is the most oppressed group in society? Young, sensitive, and slightly perverse man between the ages of 14 and 35. Chuds. That's absolutely hilarious. Yeah, I think we need to tag Jason for this. You guys know what I'm talking about. And oh yeah, I think he's getting exposed lately for what he did with Blizzard. That's pretty crazy. Going down, problem is the level of multiplayer Halo has would take. This is long to develop. Okay, don't rush the game. The game was rushed anyways. That's what I'm saying. What are you talking about? As it did the campaign, and let's be honest here, most devs struggle to optimize Unreal Engine 5 for single player. Imagine that scale tenfold in a small space multiplayer map. You'd struggle to get 20 frames per second constantly. I don't know about that. I think you're making up an excuse. Either you could do it or not. Gears of War E-Day is on Unreal Engine 5. You want to know what the specs are on that? Yeah, I don't think you know what you're talking about. No, it's called skill issue and laziness, AI slop, taking shortcuts, and just not honoring the legacy. Like I said, Halo has been disrespected in so many ways. It's not even that too. It's also that t-shirt that was being worn at the last Halo event. You think about this type of stuff. So we got another post to get here. Here's the next one. One of the original Halo developers is not impressed with Halo Campaign Evolved. Jamie, here's the other guy right here, who worked on Halo Combat Evolved and was design lead on Halo 2 and 3, has criticized several changes in the remake. He thinks Halo Studios has gone too far with some of the modernization. Somebody else. One thing that really bothered him is the new Halo ring shown on the main menu. The original game's menu slowly showed the Halo ring in space, creating a quiet, mysterious atmosphere, and he feels the remake's version loses some of that soul. Oh, they've killed the soul of it big time. One example is the Warthog section in the Silent Photographer. In the original game, rocks and level design forced players to fight the hunters on foot. In the remake, the Warthog can smash through some of those obstacles. You see people sprinting through like Call of Duty through the game too. When you can just smash the crates out of the way, it wrecks the encounters. Yeah, like I said, they killed the pacing and the soul of it. And removed multiplayer and gave you half-baked AI missions too, which were not good. Microsoft for you lately, and then it was a disaster when it launched on Steam, and it didn't sell that well on Steam or PlayStation like it should have. He also wasn't happy about trees being added to the landing area of the famous Warthog jump. But the worst part, they put trees in the landing area of the Woohoo jump lame. He says this is lame. He also criticized the addition of sprinting. Sprinting into the shaft, as we see right here, so fast that Marty O'Donnell's music transition doesn't work properly is the perfect ending. Who is this for? Going down, left image, Halo Campaign Evolved, right image, Halo 4. The psyop is disgusting. Yeah, I mean, they're making Cortana look ugly. It's like, how does she look more older and ridiculous looking like that, when originally she looked like that. It's like, she should look younger here. You got better technology too. But that type of stuff kind of happens, right? Slop evolved. That's funny. They shouldn't have made Cortana look like Tom Holland then, along with throwing in some random girl boss. Oh yeah, she too looks just unattractive. But this is when you start seeing certain politics invade into gaming and enforce things which, like, you stop messing up the game. They just did so much to just ruin it. And that's why I tell you, you really realize these companies are not making a mistake, right? They don't care about the legendary status. That's why I said the gaming aspect that you think is there is now corporatized. Corporations. And they do nothing but ruin everything. Microsoft is not a gaming company. Most people need to wake up from that. Doesn't have the courage to talk about Cortana in this climate, though. She's meant to form a relationship with the chief player. Hard to do when you look like a man. Oh man, no wonder why the game flopped so hard and studio had layoffs. Half the fun was wedging warthogs in places they weren't supposed to be. Yeah, that's true. Who is this for? You could always get a warthog in this section to face the hunters, but rest, he's right on. So, once again, we see Microsoft actually getting exposed and called out by not just one, but the other Halo creator, who's also the design lead on Halo 2 and Halo 3. They have ruined the franchise, and nobody is happy about it. And you haven't seen a good Halo in a while, and then you get a sloppy remake with no multiplayer. Do you trust Microsoft with the future of Halo? No? You trust them with Gears? Look at what they're doing. They're limiting the audience big time. We saw how bad it's flopping on Steam. It didn't even have more than 30,000 people online in the open beta yesterday. I haven't checked it lately, but I'm pretty sure it probably didn't hit that. Even then, it's bad. I was thinking when you open a door, it's like, boom, I hit like 70,000. Boom, it's getting at 100,000. Then we got 150,000 people online. Like, there's a huge demand for it. It was never there. And everybody's like, oh man, the only thing I can think of is maybe people just playing on the Xbox app. It's like, yeah, because those are people that are leaving the Xbox world that went on PC to get on the Xbox app. Gears diehards. You know what I mean? But other than that, it's like, yeah, so the game that actually has multiplayer, that actually has the opportunity to have a community, you don't put that on PlayStation. But you put Halo on there with no multiplayer. The company can't do anything right with its franchises. And it's absolutely embarrassing. And this is where people start to get fed up, because it's like, why can't you do anything right? Why would I trust you, who can't do anything right, to go exclusive in the worst times and then jack the price up of your hardware to $800? Yeah, something is off there. This company does not know what it's doing to help gaming grow. When you talk about reset, what do you mean? It's getting worse. How do you do a reset but then jack the price up to $800 and make it more expensive than your competitor who's destroying you? You ever see like markets? Think about it. People doing commission. When they start getting outdone by the competitor, they have to start doing sales and deals. Wasn't that always the most intelligent thing back then and most obvious, that, oh man, I gotta put the price down? And if your competitor is destroying you, why would you say, oh, he's beating me so bad, I'm gonna jack the price up over him? I'm like, well, where's the logic in that? And I'm a $1 trillion company. I'm making more money than ever. What? And I'm in the worst position of all time after wasting way more money than usual, and I want to go and try and play the exclusive game. Like, I'm in the same position as my competitor and I have the install base, and I'm still going to put the games day one on Game Pass. It's like, I don't know what else to tell you about that. I'm trying to find out how anybody thinks they should defend Microsoft's behavior. It literally does not make any sense to me. But of course, like I said, you have to be kind of slow to do that. So by not realizing that to begin with. So yeah, become a member, leave a tip down below, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about Microsoft getting called out by multiple Halo creators. And they're basically saying everything AGN has been saying this whole time. As you see, it's called constructive criticism, and actually making you see what you should have done so you can actually make the game be better. That's what I've been doing. But no, it's wrong to do that, because it's okay for Microsoft to keep destroying everything. But let's just all be okay with it and just take the load to the face, like I said. That's what those people are doing. the Microsoft Xbox Defender crew, it's like, oh boy, how much more embarrassing can this get? Please just stop defending them. I just can't, for the love of God, see how anybody intelligent would do that. Later, y'all. Keep on gaming no matter what platform you're on.